And I would like to say to you, Taoiseach, how delighted we are to see you so fully recovered from your illness, and to say also how very much we appreciate the honour you pay us all, the association, the players, the organising committees, the bank and our guests, by your attendance here this evening. We appreciate it very much. A very special welcome to John Dowling, attending this All-Star Award banquet for the first time as President of Cumann Class Gael. We are all aware of the dedication and commitment to the ideals of the association which has brought you, John, to the presidency of the association. We extend to you every good wish for success in the challenging times ahead. Welcome to our other friends from the association, the past presidents, the officials from the counties and provinces, and especially warm welcome to Archdurahor Liam Mulvihill and his colleagues from Croke Park. Welcome also to all of our guests from press, radio and television, and in particular welcome to the members of the steering and selection committees. I would like to assure them that we appreciate their tremendous support and participation in this scheme. This is the 18th year of the All-Star Awards. The publicity which it receives brings with it at times criticisms and differences of view. Whilst we might all wish for the quiet life in these matters, it is essential for a national scheme that it does arouse public interest, and inevitably that means on occasion critical analysis. I would like to say that we welcome this public and media interest. The scheme has evolved over the years and can benefit from the careful consideration that constructive criticism can bring. This is the 10th year of Bank of Ireland involvement. We believe very strongly in the principles of the awards scheme, and we are very proud to be associated with it. Tonight we honour the Gaelic Athletic Association and especially the players. I am delighted that of those nominated, 78 players are present. Only 30 will receive awards, but I hope all will understand that we are gathered this evening to pay tribute and to congratulate all of them for their sporting and playing achievements in 1988. Taoiseach, a gcuine úsla, fáilte is fiche ribh gach aine. Tá súlagam go mé an ihe agah fad. Go raibh maith.
Well, now, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the main business of the evening, which is the presentation of the 1988 All-Star Awards. And first, it's to football. Now, it was a year which saw some new faces along the way, but largely I think it was something of an action replay of the previous year's championship, as Meath and Cork made their way to the All-Ireland final with plenty of drama along the way. To make the presentation to the football All-Stars, would you welcome again, please, Mr. Frank O'Rourke, and he is accompanied by the President of the Gaelic Athletic Association, John Dowling, and our very special guest here tonight, An Taoiseach Charles J. Haughey. Well, now, first in goal is a player who was 11 years a senior player this month, but at one stage it was feared that his career might be over after a serious car accident. The first award goes to Paddy Linden of Monaghan.
The opposition was stiff, but there can hardly be a more popular winner than Paddy Linden of Monaghan, picking up his first Bank of Ireland All-Star Award tonight.
At right full back is a player who is the recipient and joins a select group of players, indeed, who is the recipient of an automatic choice, as he was the sole nominee in the position. It's the second award in this berth for Robbie O'Malley of Meath.
Yes, another popular winner. And with Robbie's award is a chance to admire the first of the Gran Canaria suntans. Robbie, of course, has just been holidaying with the Meath party. We're delighted to see him here. Player who got in here on a late flight indeed.
I should mention at this point, ladies and gentlemen, that we are especially pleased that Robbie O'Malley is here with us tonight, because the Meath players who were supposed to come and accept their awards had a little bit of difficulty on their return journey from the Canary Islands. They had a flight difficulty on the way. Now, let me tell you, at the Bank of Ireland, what did they do? Well, they chartered a plane to go out and to meet them. Now, some of the players have been able to make it, unfortunately, some have not. Obviously, Robbie has been able to make it with us tonight, but more about that later on. Next, we move to the full-back position, and it's a second award for a player who had to overcome injury last summer before regaining his place on his county team as they went through the championship. We're talking about Coleman Corrigan from Cork.
Well, what Meath can do, Cork can do likewise. Coleman has just returned from the Canaries also, where the Cork squad has been taking a well-deserved break. They're being congratulated by Taoiseach and receiving his award from Mr. Frank O'Rourke.
Left full-back goes to another newcomer to the All-Star roster, even though this year, in actual fact, he will be 10 years playing for his county senior team. He is one of the most dependable of defenders, and we're talking about Mick Kennedy from Dublin.
A senior footballer with an excellent track record, Mick Kennedy. All the more remarkable, therefore, when you consider that this is just his first All-Star honour. He's been around for a long time, and it's an award that I know that everybody in football will be glad to see him get.
The right half-back is getting his second consecutive award. He's also played elsewhere in defence last year, but in any position he is one of the most inflexible and tenacious of defenders, Niall Cahalane from Cork.
Yes, Niall Cahalane from West Cork, and in spite of a couple of championship games in the full back line, the selectors nominate him for the second year in succession at right half-back, the tight-marking Niall Cahalane. So Niall makes his way up onto the rostrum.
The centre half-back is another getting his first award here tonight. Now, he made his debut in 1985 and has since proven to be an exceptional defender of great fire and determination. Noel McCaffrey from Dublin.
Dr. Noel McCaffrey, and if ever a player were blessed with the vision to see moves develop before others have appreciated the possibilities, then surely that is Noel McCaffrey here, his first All-Star. And a very delighted Noel McCaffrey.
Well, now, at left half-back is a player who had an outstanding year, both in the league and the championship. He surpassed anything that he had previously done for his team. Indeed, perhaps Meath might not have retained the championship without his efforts. Unfortunately, he was one of those who did not make it onto the Bank of Ireland chartered flight to be with us tonight. However, a round of applause for Martin O'Connell of Meath.
A great pity indeed that Martin can't be here to pick up his All-Star. He'll get it later on, of course. As Michael said in the All-Ireland final, he played the proverbial blinder. The game of his life.
Well, next we move to the midfield position, and this position, it goes to a player who discovered perhaps new resources in his play last year, and that was Shay Fahy of Cork. Now, unfortunately, Shay can't be with us here tonight, because Shay at the moment is Captain Fahy, and he is serving with the United Nations forces in the Lebanon. But if he can't be with us, well, we were able to go and visit him and see his All-Star Award being presented to him by the commander of his unit, that is Lieutenant Colonel Pat McMahon, himself a former Louth footballer.
Shay, it's a great pleasure for me to be asked to make this present to you, this Bank of Ireland All-Stars Award, for your major contribution to the Cork team during 1988. And I know that I speak on behalf of all my colleagues in the Defence Forces, and indeed on behalf of all ranks, and indeed on behalf of the members of the 64th Irish Battalion serving with United Nations here in South Lebanon, in saying my heartiest congratulations.
Thank you. And a fully deserved honour for a player who delivered consistently game after game in last year's championship.
This presentation. I'd like to say hello to you all tonight at home in the Burlington. I hope you're all enjoying the night so far, and I'm sure you'll all enjoy the rest of the night as well. It's a great pleasure for me to accept this award at the Bank of Ireland All-Star Award, particularly here in Lebanon, where I'm away from home for 6 months, and it means in many ways twice as much to me here as it would if I was getting it at home. There's a number of people I'd like to thank for their help throughout 1988. In particular, I would talk about the members of Nemo Rangers Football Club and the Cork Senior Football Team, and also, of course, Billy Morgan. They helped me in many ways throughout the year, and I wouldn't have got this award without their help. Also, there's Jackie in Cork, who was with me through the good and the bad times all through the year. Lastly, I'd like to finish up by thanking my own family, and particularly my parents who were in the Burlington.
And Daj Fahy are down there on the table.
Well, the other midfielder has always shown... I'm not too sure if that round of applause is for Shea Fahy or for me, but thank you nonetheless for whichever. I was about to say the other midfielder has always shown a large measure of elegance in his football, and indeed he scored one of the most spectacular goals of 1988. It's his first All-Star award. Now, I also gathered that at the moment he is circling around someplace in the stratosphere with a chartered flight from the Bank of Ireland. Liam Hayes of Meath.
A moment that means an awful lot to sports journalist Liam Hayes tonight, picking up his Bank of Ireland All-Star award, and he'll be getting that a little bit later on.
I should mention that the Meath players that have not been able to be with us so far are actually trying to get here tonight, so we may see them later on. Now, we move to the left half forward, and that is one of the most effective forwards in the game today, and this is his second successive All-Star award. It just comes, in actual fact, in time to mark his 28th birthday, which comes up in 11 days' time. We're talking about Kieran Duff of Dublin.
One of the game's up-and-coming stars. Well, brother, this is Kieran Duff that we're watching now. Kieran Duff picking up his second honour in succession.
We are moving a little bit across the way, if you like, right now, because we're trying to accommodate the slight change in our schedule to accommodate the Meath players. We move now to the right half forward, and another debutant, and indeed the youngest of the award winners here tonight. He turned 19 just 2 months ago, but he's already made a big impact in 1988, both for his county, for his university, and for his province, and that's Maurice Fitzgerald of Kerry.
And Maurice picks up an award for Kerry. Maurice, who was deadly from freezing play in the Munster final. But he really does seem destined, doesn't he, for a great career in senior football. Taoiseach there introducing him to Mr. Frank O'Rourke.
The Centre Half Forward Award goes to a player who has contributed more than most to his teams present in the last 2 All-Ireland finals. He's also a leading place kicker in latter times in Gaelic football, and we are of course talking about Larry Tompkins of Cork.
Yes, a very modest footballer, Larry Tompkins, certainly a fine object lesson for young players everywhere. When you consider the amount of extra training that Larry puts in to be as good as he is, and nobody I'm sure would begrudge him an All-Ireland medal perhaps this year.
Now, Kieran Duff, we've already met, of course, so we're going to move forward now to the right full forward position. He had one of his best years of the 14 that he's been in senior football. Now, he scored some of the championship's best long-range points, as I'm sure you'll remember, and it's his first award since 1983. Unfortunately, he is not with us at the moment. That is Colm O'Rourke of Meath.
Well, perhaps we get a chance to see him a little bit later on. As Michael said earlier, they're making valiant efforts to get here, and certainly Colm, a man who can be depended upon in a crisis.
The full forward, and this is another superb marksman of the present day. Indeed, it was his deadly accurate place kicking, unerring even under a great amount of pressure, which sent the All-Ireland final to a replay. I'm delighted to say that he is with us. Brian Stafford from Meath.
And Brian Stafford, a master of consistency, and it's good to see him. A vital cog indeed in the Meath machine. Brian brings to 5 the Royal County representation in this year's team.
The left full forward is the only player here tonight getting his 3rd award. It was his first, in fact, as a corner back, and that was back in 1979, but he's still showing, I think, the same enthusiastic commitment now as a corner forward. That's Eugene Hughes from Monaghan.
In fact, all 5 players have now been honoured as backs and forwards in their careers as All-Stars, and nobody did more than Nudie, I think, to help Monaghan regain the Ulster title last summer. He'd love to regain it again this year.
So there they are, ladies and gentlemen, 12 in actual fact, over 15 award winners here tonight, and let's salute them. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bank of Ireland GAA Football All-Stars for 1988.
5 Meath men, 4 from Cork, 3 from Dublin, 2 from Monaghan, and Maurice Fitzgerald from Kerry. And some delighted faces there of the Bank of Ireland All-Stars. Maurice Fitzgerald there on the right with a little wink for everybody, and the smiling Larry Tompkins. Receiving a very enthusiastic response here from the crowd. Well, still to come, the announcement live of the All-Star Hurling team for last year, and we'll be meeting the recipients of the all-time All-Star Awards. That will be right after the break. Don't go away.
Welcome back again, ladies and gentlemen. Well, now, earlier this evening, we were talking, in fact, about the history of the All-Stars, which was first introduced in 1971. And I suppose it often raises the question of who might have been honoured if these awards had been in existence long before that. Well, we would have had some legendary names for sure. But even if there were no All-Stars to honour the great players of other days, well, perhaps we can redress that balance somewhat here tonight. Each year, the All-Star Committee are given the opportunity to select a footballer and a hurler from the past to present them with our special All-Stars Award. Well, to announce this year's recipient is the Secretary of the Steering Committee of the Bank of Ireland All-Stars, and he's also my RTE colleague. Would you welcome, please, Mick Dunn.
Thank you, Michael. Taoiseach, Uachtarán Cumanú Tlascéal agus Córdia Illig. Well, once again, the journalists who are associated with the Bank of Ireland All-Stars would like to reiterate that in choosing the all-time All-Stars, we picked men we're sure would have been honoured more than once if there had been All-Star awards in their own playing days. Our football personality this year could have earned hurling awards as well as several for football, because he was recognised as an outstanding dual player, and at 16 he played minor for his county at both hurling and football. He also won county championship medals at both sports, and the summer he turned 19 he made his debut on the county's 2 senior teams. He never won an All-Ireland medal, but he got to the final in hurling. Not in football, however, having been stopped twice at the semi-final stage. Chosen for his province as a dual star, he once played 2 semi-finals on the same afternoon in Croke Park, and indeed, as did a former all-time All-Star in the very same 2 matches. Jack Lynch was in the same 2 games. He has 4 Railway Cup medals, and he was one of a set of dazzling and electrifying forwards who contributed to their province's first triumph in Railway Cup football. So I'm pleased to announce that tonight we're honouring Antrim's Kevin Armstrong.
And a big cheer for Kevin Armstrong, the former dual star from Antrim. Kevin, incidentally, is the 3rd successive Ulster man to be honoured as an all-time All-Star in football. Receiving his award there from John Dowling, President of the GAA, and Taoiseach wants to offer his congratulations as well, and indeed Mr. Frank O'Rourke.
The hurler being honoured occupies a very special place in his county's illustrious history, not only as a marvellous cornerback who holds 3 All-Ireland medals, but also because he was the very first of one of the country's most famous clubs to win an All-Ireland medal. That was way back in 1928, the year he first played Senior Inter-County Championship. With his renowned club, he won no fewer than 7 county championship medals, all of them in successive years, as it happened. And during his playing days, he also found time to serve that club with devotion as their secretary for a period. And he was later a Cork selector, in fact, also for many years. He got 2 more All-Ireland medals, and he figured in what's probably been the most dramatic of all hurling finals. Indeed, he's the only surviving member of the team that eventually won that decider. He has both a National League medal and 1 for the Railway Cup. And he was chosen for Ireland for the Talthian Games of 1932. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome the hale and hearty 85-year-old Paddy Fox Collins of Cork.
And that's one of the biggest cheers of the night, accompanied by his son Tom, also a fine hurler. Fox, I can tell you, is a very lively 85-year-old, and he still follows the fortunes of his beloved Glen Rovers in Cork. Indeed, his son Tom there is a former player.
Well, now, ladies and gentlemen, we certainly couldn't let our two special award winners go without taking the opportunity to talk to them about their playing days. A little bit earlier on, Gerard Canning got the chance to meet with both men.
Paddy, you're this year's all-time All-Star. Have you ever been known as anything else other than Fox Collins?
No. Except when I was younger and when they know my name.
Yeah.
Like down around Carrytool where I used to spend most of my time. It's Ronnie Patrick.
But when you were clearing a ball out of the Cork full back line, they always called Fox Collins, did they?
Yeah. Of course they didn't know my name, maybe that's what it is.
When did you come on the Cork senior hurling team? When was that about? 1920?
28, 29. I was the 728.
And then,
that year too.
and then you lost the 1930 championship. In fact,
With
you didn't even get to the Munster
Clare
final.
won that, I think. Clare won. Beat us in 1930. I think it won it. I think Tipperary won it that year.
Now, in 31, you enjoyed a fabulous success. Having got out of Munster that year, you met Kilkenny in the final. Was there little or nothing between the teams all the way along? Were the two very evenly matched teams?
We won. No, I think we won well the last match. We won by a couple of goals, I think. Of course, Laurie Maher was the man at the time, centre field man. Laurie Maher. There was O'Reilly played. There was two Dunns, Johnny Dunn and Dan Dunn. Oh, they were all fairly good.
What did hurling mean to you? Was it the most important thing in your life, was it? Was it the most important thing in your life?
Yeah, it was, yes. Yeah, it was.
Well, listen, congratulations to you. You richly deserve to be the all-time All-Star for 1988-89. Well done.
It was a great honour, all right, but I don't think I remember it.
I will certainly do. Well done.
It's the greatest moment of my life, the biggest event of my whole career in the GAA.
Well, as we've heard, of course, you were a dual player, a hurler and a footballer. Did that make life very difficult for you?
No, I didn't. I enjoyed both games.
But you must have had some very tiring weeks when you were called upon to play several games at the one time.
Oh yes, especially in the summer times we had midweek matches and maybe 2 or 3 matches on a Sunday. It was good.
I can take you back to the 40s now. I know you were the last captain of an Antrim-winning football team in 51, but in 46 you had a particularly good team. You won the Ulster title that year.
It was the greatest Antrim team to my liking, you know. Very good.
You beat Cavan in the Ulster final.
We beat Cavan in the Ulster final. Good Cavan team with John Joe and Mick Higgins and Big Tom and the rest of them.
And in the All-Ireland semi-final, I think you played Kerry.
We had a good Kerry team. Joe Cahan and Paddy Candy, Bill Casey, Terry O'Connor and Jackie Lane, all that crowd. They were good men.
What's the story you were telling me about playing for suitcases?
We played Cavan after they came back from the polo grounds in Croke Park 3 weeks after they won the All-Ireland for a set of overcoats and defeated them.
And you were playing for suitcases too, I believe?
And yeah.
How to equip yourself
Good
well.
prizes.
Kevin Armstrong, all-time All-Star for this year. Congratulations, well done to you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, indeed, two great men of the past there. Well, now, I tell you this, I sincerely hope that the Bank of Ireland did not send out a second chartered flight to collect the rest of the Meath men, because if they did, I'll be getting one of those, dear valued customer, it's time that you paid the rest of the money that you owed us. Nonetheless, I will have to say that we are delighted to say that the other 3 Meath players are with us here now. Remember that we were waiting for the left half back, and that was Martin O'Connell.
So the 3 wise men are on their way.
We also have our other midfielder has joined us. That is the very elegant Liam Hayes.
Elegance indeed on and off the field. Liam Hayes, good to see you too, picking up your All-Star award. And I know it's a moment he wouldn't have wanted to have missed.
And last, but by no means least, the man with the permanently gammy right leg, it would appear, but the other one works very, very well indeed. That's Colm O'Rourke.
Nothing wrong about that gammy leg at all, as they'll tell you in Cork. Colm, the great-hearted footballer, greeting and being greeted, and now accepting his award for 1988.
Well, soon then, we will have the announcement of the Hurling All-Stars for 1988. Who will be the 15 honoured players this time? Well, we shall see.
And indeed, we'll have the announcement of the Bank of Ireland All-Star Hurlers very shortly. That'll be right after this commercial break.
And you're very welcome back again. Well, now, although the football and the hurling All-Star Awards are obviously of equal merit, I'm sure nonetheless that the football recipients won't mind me saying that we now come to the highlight of the night, because the Hurling All-Stars for 1988, which is still a closely guarded secret, are about to be revealed. Now, before we do that, let's perhaps just remind ourselves of some of the images and the scores which were the highlights of last year's league and championship action. Well, now the time has come. It's time to name the Hurling All-Stars, and let me remind you once again that nobody knows who the winners are, except of course the people who actually counted the votes. Even the committee members who selected the All-Stars don't know, because that was done by secret ballot. So let me tell you, we have some very anxious hurlers backstage right now. Mick Dunn has the all-important details.
And these, in fact, are the sheets that will reveal all. So let's get down to business with the All-Star Hurlers for 1988. We start with goalkeeper, and the nominations, remember, were John Common's Galway, Ger Cunningham Cork and Ken Hogan Tipperary. And the winner is John Commons of Galway.
So Galway's first All-Star of the night, and after several seasons of highly consistent performances, John finally gets an All-Star award, and one which I'm sure that Ken Hogan and Ger Cunningham will not begrudge him.
Right full back, the three nominations: Joe Hennessy Kilkenny, Sylvie Lennon Galway and Conor O'Donovan Tipperary. And the winner, Sylvie Lennon of Galway.
Well, he's quite a veteran of All-Star night now. It's his third award in the last 4 years. Sylvie will be hoping to help Galway to a 3 in a row this summer, and this is quite a good start. Sporting the maroon dicky bow as well, I noticed, Sylvie.
Full back now, and the nominations: Aidan Fogarty Offaly, Conor Hayes Galway and Noel Sheehy Tipperary. And the winner, Conor Hayes of Galway.
Well, so far it's all Galway, and for Conor it's his third successive honour, reflecting his own high standing as a fullback in 1988 and the years prior to that. Certainly that was a great year, an outstanding year for Conor Hayes, Galway's captain.
Left full back, and the nominations were Paul Delaney Tipperary, Daithí Foran of Waterford and Martin Hannamy of Offaly. And the winner, Martin Hannamy of Offaly.
A newcomer to the All-Star team. Martin turned in a series.
Looking for somebody available. The only man at the moment is Micheál Burns. He drops it in. Mark White comes off his goal line, only in his second chance. Killarney, another one of the players that have 2 minor All-Irelands. Paul Gainey. Oh, that's a beautiful ball. Cork defence finding it a little bit difficult. James O'Donoghue laying it back. David Clifford to O'Donoghue. The threesome up front are going to be lethal. And the understanding between them, what a wonderful diagonal ball that created the opportunity in the first place.
Yeah, mesmerising movement though. The way, for example, that time Gainey moved out to the side, Clifford took the ball, lovely.
James O'Donoghue. Over towards Paul Murphy. And Rathmore dropping this in. Oh, it's straight between the posts and over the bar.
Just time and time again, Kerry players are coming off great freedom to move forward. No such thing as marking zones or anything else. If they see the opportunity to drive forward, they'll hit the space in the.
And it's again Paul Murphy that's coming forward. He lays it off, and here comes Stephen O'Brien, goal scorer. Somehow manages to scramble it loose. Sean O'Shea, dead straight in front of the post, heads down towards Blackrock, and the white flag will be raised. 5 of the 6 Kerry forwards have now scored.
Yeah, but when you think of all of these scores, they've all come in different ways. Some of them from close in, most of them from distance, but equally, you know, every one of the players you say has been involved in them. But apart from the actual efficiency and accuracy of their finishing,
as much as for the footballers, David Moran sending it down towards another David. And this is David Clifford. Staying with him is Sam Ryan, and away he goes. Taken down, however. And there is going to be trouble with a capital T, Martin Carney, every time David Clifford gets the ball.
Yeah, but the thing about Sam Ryan is playing David Clifford from behind. He's not getting up alongside him or trying to play from him in front. He's giving him too much room every time the ball is delivered. Yeah, Clifford has far too much space.
Referee noting the name of Sam Ryan. Well, the doctor gives him some medical attention as well. That's Aidan Kelleher, Dr. Kelleher from Clondrid. And it's a black card. That's going to be a change in the Cork defence. Deliberate foul. Cork supporters don't like the decision. Disappointment for Sam Ryan, but this is the reason. Deliberate foul here.
Well, there's definitely a card, and he does pull him down, and the referee has deemed it to be a deliberate one, and therefore, if that is the case, it is a black card offence.
James O'Donoghue takes the point. Outside, calling for this James O'Donoghue. David Moran is also there, if he needs him. Back to the conductor of the orchestra, James O'Donoghue. In towards Paul Gainey. Here we go, and across the face of the goal and over the bar, more importantly, for Paul Gainey's second point of the game.
Yes, there's so many options, Marty. They're playing it long, they're playing it short. That time, great ball from Gainey, you know, over the bar. But it's just the quality of their movement. They wait at the Cork forward line.
Just to confirm that James Lockery is on. He's come on a corner back instead of Sam Ryan, former Antrim footballer, playing with Mallow. As Kerry go into the attack, and that's over the bar. And it's Paul Murphy's second point. Not alone do the opposition have to deal with the 6 Kerry forwards, but you also have to deal with Paul Murphy coming all the way from Rathmore.
Yeah, and Paul Murphy is playing left half back rather than...
Here's Sean O'Shea going to take this free. 2016 All-Ireland winning minor captain. Should be a simple tap over the bar, and that's exactly what it is.
To actually curb the influence of Rory Dean.
Long kick out's not really working to Cork's advantage. Breaking ball. Kerry being clever, knocking it down. Here's David Clifford onto the left boot. Here we go. Straight between the posts and over the bar. Second point of the game for the man from Fossa, just outside Killarney. This is quality ball. Turns and curls it in beautifully.
Yeah, but their ability, Marty, to manufacture space for themselves, just magnificent.
The short kick out is causing problems for Cork, and the referee is having a word with Stephen O'Brien. He's putting his arms out. That's what he was saying, that he wasn't really fouling James Lockery, but meanwhile Kieran Brannigan is going to show a black card. Second black card of the match.
Yeah, I think he was deliberately preventing him actually from going for the ball. Just watch it here. He just comes around him, takes him down, and that basically is a black card offence.
Absolutely. Referee is correct. Luke Connolly has scored a point in the opening half. He's going for it here. Looks the goalkeeper across. There's a chance here for Mark Collins. Tries to jig left and right. Will he be satisfied with a point? He'll be disappointed with nothing.
Oh, that's a big opportunity spurned that time by Cork. Connolly going through from one side. I thought he was going to go for a goal for a moment. He was in two minds. And then when it came across actually to Mark Collins, came off the bar. Mark Collins probably didn't, he was in two minds really. He wasn't decisive enough when the opportunity arose and made a mess of it as a consequence. But side of the field, on the left flank of the field, they're doing well down this side.
Like now, with Aidan Walsh to Rory Dean. Chelsea goes right, goes left, lays it off. Referee says there was a follow through by the Bantry Blues man, and the free is given to Kerry. And the referee also wants to have a word with Rory Dean. Let's see what happened here.
Well, Rory Dean let the ball off that time to his wing forward, I think, to his corner forward, but that time he... just a collision between the two of them, or maybe the angle that the referees seen is different. Now, to me, that wasn't a black card offence. I didn't think that was a black card, maybe a yellow card if anything, but it is a physical game. I didn't think there was anything deliberate in what he did that time. I think that's a harsh call.
Well, let's look at it from this angle here, because I would agree with you initially. Let's see there.
He ran into him, but there is nothing untoward about that. That did not free in for Cork, not given.
David Clifford is running at the Cork defence, still going strong. Made the 20-metre line, laying it back. Difficult enough angle. And the umpire is going for the flag and raising it. What a